He is back with us this week. Dr. Ralph May visits our morning presented by Marcus and Mack, voted the best law firm and best personal injury lawyer 3 years in a row, and the best of Indiana County contest. You can visit him online at marcusandmack.com. I asked Dr. May if he would come back and talk to us today because this is the first week of school for a lot of folks. Marion Center, River Valley, they start on Wednesday. A whole bunch of school districts start on Thursday, and then next week, I think United and Indiana will start, and then everybody will be back in school. IUP, the campus is filling up even as we speak here this morning. And so college students all the way down to the elementary school students, even the preschool students, and their parents, they are all getting set for a little life change.
Yeah, the changes are sometimes called the scaries, and because this change of coming out of the summer break and moving back into the academic setting is always a time of transition. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's good. It's a great thing because new things, new people, new learning, it's a great thing. But the change process evokes some anxiety in people, and some it evokes a lot of anxiety. Mm-hmm. And so we have to figure out, you know, basically how to facilitate the transition. And it depends on the age. Young children usually need a little bit more facilitation from the parents and caregivers, which, you know, easing them into it. Most of the research says one of the hardest things to do is sleep patterns through the summer. That we get into really bad sleep patterns during sleeping in, you know, getting up, staying up late, and that's hard transition to do all at once. So they recommend, most of the experts recommend you start phasing in the sleep changes at least a week or two. So we're right in that window now where you should be doing it, where you start getting a regular bedtime. Teenagers need 8 to 10 hours a night of sleep. Now, how many, I mean, come on, you know, but that's what's recommended. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to do that, you're going to have to you got to get up early. So you got to get into bed by 10 and you start shutting down the media and everything about 8 o'clock. So you have to decompress, slow down, and you sleep. And by the way, this is very important for all ages. Sleep dark. Blue light is very invasive. It destroys sleep. Blue light, turn the lights off, sleep cool. You know, the environment needs to be cool, and sleep quiet. So stimulating outside noises, the brain remains active if you keep hearing things through the night, disturbed sleep pattern. So sleep, I'm hitting sleep kind of hard because that's where the research says kids have, and adults for that matter, have the most problem in transition. Get the sleep patterns established early. So that will ease the transition a little bit. For younger kids, the parents need to be very supportive of the anxiety, let them to talk about it, you know, even maybe sometimes visit the school with them at first, get them comfortable. If not, just make sure that you have an open line of communication so that if they need to talk to you about what's going on, they have that open to them.
Elementary school students, and really those who are transitioning from one school to another, elementary to a junior high or a middle school, and then even those transitioning from there into a senior high, where they're going to be around new people and meeting these people for the very first time. I imagine that night before the first day is really a hard night to get to sleep, especially for those younger students who've never been away from mom and dad.
Right.
And now they have to be sitting in a classroom with a whole bunch of people who all seem to know each other, except nobody knows you. That's
right. And that's anxiety for sure. What the parents need to do is reassure them. And usually this transition takes about a week or two. Generally, once you get there and once you get connecting and starting to make friends and starting to understand how things work, in about 2 weeks, you're feeling really good. I say to the parents on the first day, say to them at the end of school today, we're going to sit down, we're going to talk, maybe we'll get some ice cream, maybe we'll do something special just to talk about the day. So you make an end point of the day something to look forward to. So if the day's good, the day's bad, there's at least something to look forward to at the end of the day. So also with kids and with adults for that matter, there's the 3-step anxiety technique that we like to use. 3-3-3 we call it. So if you start feeling nervous, name 3 things you can see, 3 things you can hear, and 3 parts of your body you can move. What that does is it gets you out of your head. It gets you out of that cycle of anxiety in your head that builds up. It breaks that and helps you kind of ground yourself to the immediate surroundings. That's a really quick technique. It's good for everybody. It kind of reduces anxiety in the moment.
Yeah. Let's talk about students, because this does happen. Bullying is something that happens in every grade level, It happens in the workplace. Why would
Happens
it not
everywhere.
happen at every grade level as well? But for those young developing minds, the idea of bullying and the idea of going to someone for help
Right.
can be really, really daunting. I don't want to go and tell my teacher because then the bullying will get worse.
Well, I think the most important thing is bullying has to stop. I mean, it needs to be stopped. It needs to not be accepted. And so it is very difficult for children, for anyone to report someone for bullying. But when you're reporting someone for bullying, not only are you not accepting it, you're making it sure that other people aren't bullied as well, because bullies typically target multiple individuals, not just you. So by taking a stand, it's a courageous thing that helps not only yourself, but prevents that individual from hurting other people. And by the way, the bullies have problems too. We know this from the literature. People who bully generally have mental health problems of their own that need to be addressed, and this is a way that maybe they could get some help too.
Yeah, yeah. Let's move it into the high school level. The pressures on a high school student, of course, as you get further and further into your academic career, and you start to think about what happens next after school,
Right.
and where do I go from here? What direction am I pointing my life toward? Identifying areas that really interest you that you might want to study in the future, going into the workforce, all of these different things. That next step is ahead of me, and yet I'm stuck with this step here, and I've got
Right.
things I have to do now.
Well, the things I have to do now are a really, really important step for the things you do later. One of the things that it's very funny, 30 years after high school, there's something that I'm working with a consumer, I'm working with a patient, and that I learned that in high school. What they're telling me about, I learned that. I didn't know I was ever going to need that. We never really know what we're going to need later. We have to have some faith in what we're learning will all be incorporated into something that we'll be able to use later. Sometimes we don't even know that it's going to be important at the time. I remember thinking, why do I have to learn this Spanish? I learned Spanish in college, 2 years of Spanish. Why do I have to learn Spanish? Why do I have to learn Spanish? Later in life, I had to evaluate a woman who had come from Colombia to the United States with her husband, and she couldn't speak English.
Oh, yeah.
And so I knew a little, I was not fluent, but I knew enough to be able to talk with her husband's assistance. I wouldn't have known that at the time. See, that's the thing is we have to remember that all learning is basically good, and we never really know what we're going to need it for until we need it.
Yeah, yeah. Students who, and I'm throwing out examples of problems that students might encounter in the course of a school year. They're falling behind in their classwork. Their academics aren't keeping up, whether it's because of scheduling difficulties or conflicts, whatever the reason might be. I'm falling behind in my classwork. I'm getting further and further behind every day because what I learned today is going to inform what I do tomorrow. And if I don't learn it today,
Right.
then there's deep trouble. Again, there's help available.
Absolutely.
Availing yourself of the help is the difficulty.
Asking for the help, not letting pride or fear stop you from asking for help. There are plenty of resources available in the schools that if you're having trouble with something, if you ask for help, you'll be given the help that you need to be able to do what you need to be able to do. It's a lot of work nowadays. There's just a tremendous amount of work, but the help's available to get the support you need to be able to accomplish the tasks you need to accomplish. And also and this is where I think communication is important, about being able to talk with your teachers. We all had a mentor. I had a couple of mentors in my time. You find a teacher that kind of gets you, or a guidance counselor, somebody that kind of gets you, and they can become your confidant. Somebody who can guide you and direct you a little bit more. And you talk to your parents and you talk to your caretakers about, I need some help, or I'm having trouble with this. Communication is really important. There's a lot of emphasis on, I need to be able to do this myself. There's nothing wrong with taking on tasks and struggling and learning, but having help is not a weakness. It's a strength.
Dr. Ralph May with us this morning. It is a welcome week at IUP for new students and incoming freshmen. For a lot of them, first time away from home, first time on my own. I'm responsible now. And
well, yeah, I'm going to try to be responsible now, right? So.
And it's never happened to me before. I need to really buckle down. I need to earn the respect that I'm wanting out there in the world. But look how much fun I can have.
Well, and that's the experience, isn't it? It's balancing, making new friends, making new connections. The environment is freeing. I know my transition to college was I found freedom, but the first semester was tough because you're accommodating that new sense of freedom and choice with I got to get established here academically. I've got to get moving. I can't just blow it in my first semester. So you get those kind of forces working together. It's an exciting time. It's an energizing time. There's a lot of temptations to get pulled away from the reason you're here. The reason you're here is not to party hardy. The reason you're here is to develop yourself, get an education, lay the foundation for later. Now, you should be able to relax and enjoy yourself too. So finding that balance is really, really important.
Yeah, my first semester at IUP, my mommy had to take me to school because my leg was in a cast.
Oh my goodness! Oh, there you go. That's an interesting challenge right there.
Yeah. But moms and dads, they're getting used to you leaving too.
That's
and
right. It's an
wondering
adjustment
about
for them.
you.
It's an adjustment for them. They get anxious, they get nervous about you being on your own, and so sometimes you pick up on that anxiety too. Again, the basic way to deal with this is just put it out in the open. Talk about it openly. It's normal to be anxious about this. It's just normal, and you'll get through it. It'll be all right. Just keep the lines of communication open.
That is the thing. Every school now, and especially now as opposed to maybe a decade ago or two, every school now has a very highly developed psychological staff that can help you through whatever your difficulty is.
Absolutely. Every school has psychologists, has counselors, has specialized individuals to help. And believe me, we're there to help, and we want to help. We want to get involved to help you before it becomes such a big problem that it's really interfering with your goals. And so the sooner, the later. I've talked to people one time, and they check in with me. It's like a check-in, just this is that, and that's all they really needed. Some people need a little more, but that's okay. And some people, and truth is, sometimes when kids break away from home the first time, they get into some trouble and they might need some more professional support. And so that's okay too. All the resources are there, but you have to ask. You have to say, I need some help, and you'll be directed to where you need to go.
You're not alone.
No.
You're not alone. Dr. Ralph May, thank you again.
Todd, thank you for having me back.
It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS, 101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com. Boomer Sports, brought to you by S&T Bank, People Forward Banking.